All right, man, peace. So, former multi-division world champion and boxing superstar Zab Judah recently decided that he was going to diversify his career path. He's now a nursing assistant, and I'm very happy for the brother. Hopefully, he decides to pursue the medical field even further and maybe even go to school. Who knows? Why put a cap or a limit on what you can achieve in life? Anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
Zab Judah is living his second life after being a boxing champion as a nursing assistant. Amazing. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Van here with Michael J. Bapper.
What's up, man?
You know, back in the early days of TMZ Sports, we kicked around ideas, and Harvey Levin had a segment that he wanted to do called Second Life. What you do is you'd find an athlete after their time of glory was over. You find out exactly what they were doing at this time now in their lives, and this is a perfect example of this segment.
I agree. And let me say this also. Many times in life, particularly from the age of about 15 to 25, people are so concerned and so focused on what they're going to be, what they're going to do, and how happy they're going to be. And most of the time, people don't really understand life until they get into their mid to late 30s. And I believe that Zab Judah is at the point now where he's decided that he's going to be the person that he's ready to be. And now he's finally going to mature as a person, as a man, and move on to another field. Hopefully move on from boxing. He no longer is a contender for any title. The only thing that really he can do right now is get hurt in the ring. Obviously, he's still dangerous because of his power, but he's not a serious contender. Hopefully, as I stated, hopefully he goes to medical school. I believe that he'll probably have the money to pay for it as opposed to taking out some type of loan that'll put him deep in debt, as most medical students have to do. I don't judge a man. I don't judge what a man has done in accord with what he can do. Obviously, when you pay attention in life, you do make judgments on people, because you have to make judgments in life, because that's going to determine what you allow to affect you. So people who say, well, you shouldn't judge, you can't judge, that's not really realistic. And the scriptures don't tell you that. As a matter of fact, they tell you the opposite. They tell you that a spiritual man judgeth all things. All right. He discerns all things. It's not that you make a judgment to cast somebody down or tell them what they can't do, but you do make evaluations and observations to determine who you want to allow in your own circle. Point being is this: Zab Judah is clearly ready to elevate himself and to shirk off a lot of the former perceptions that people may have had of him, and that's a great thing.
Right here, Zab Judah.
Yeah, absolutely great. Zab Judah, a former four-time boxing champion.
One of the best men in the world, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Zab has had some trouble in his life.
Yeah, very, very recently, I believe even a year or two ago, he was caught up in a so-called domestic violence dispute or allegation. I'm not sure where that went. I know that he's had some paternity issues in the past with women. Zab was, for those of you who don't know, he was somebody who was prone to getting into street fights. I remember he got into a very big street fight many years ago down there in Miami. So once again, this is why I'm impressed with this, and I hope that he continues with it.
And he has totally turned everything around here, and what he's doing is amazing. Actually took a nurse's assistant class in Michigan, got some certificates in first aid, CPR, some other things, has now actually went back to the school and is helping teach other students who are getting their certificate. And not only that, then, he is also going to an adult daycare facility almost regularly and taking care of elderly patients with dementia, Alzheimer's, and the people that I talked to from the facility said that the elderly people have grown such a love and really appreciate Zab so much that there's this really tight bond between Zab and the older people, which is awesome.
Here comes Harvey.
Very, very impressive. That's a skill and that's a gift, to be able to have the patience to deal with the elderly and with children. Most people don't have it because most people are extremely self-centered. We live in a society today that really does not honor older people. Why is that? Part of that correlation is due to the fact that the family unit has basically been disintegrated through things like the feminist movement, so on and so forth. There's so much antagonism and enmity, not only between the genders, but now also the generations, because there's no culture. Remember, in real cultures, you pass down everything to the next generation. We live in a cultureless society. So basically, all people do is bring forth another generation of people who are going to be indoctrinated with whatever the new propaganda is for that oncoming generation. So there's a big divide generationally, not just gender-wise now. But anyway, back to the point. Kudos to Zab for having the ability to be able to relate to elders, or to the elderly, I should say. Because let me also state this again. Just because you're old does not make you an elder. You have a lot of old fools out here. Okay? And that also is once again associated with culture. When people don't have a strong culture, they don't learn anything, so therefore they have nothing to teach.
Harvey Levin, he wants to talk about Second Life.
I mean, was this a good idea or what? Hey, I'm telling you. So I have a bunch of questions.
Yeah,
so is he doing this because he wanted to do something good, or does he need money as well?
No,
Or
financially, he's great.
Yeah, he's still boxing. He actually trains in the morning, and then he'll go to the adult daycare facility after he trains. So he's still boxing with money.
So here's the thing. There are probably 1,000 other stories like in sports. Go find them.
Let me say this. We don't know what Zab's monetary or economic situation is right now in regards to what his finances are like. To me, that really doesn't make a difference whether he decided to become a nursing assistant because he needed the money or whether he decided to do it out of the kindness of his heart. It still shows manhood, because what a man does is when he sees that he is potentially getting in trouble, he doesn't sit back and continue to try to put forth an image of somebody who is waxing fat or doing well even when he's not. He goes and he says, you know what, let me go make sure that I can secure my financial future by learning a skill, learning a trade. And if that's the trade that he chose to embark on, that's a great thing. Once again, it doesn't matter whether his finances are secure or solid or not. The fact that he took his step forward and let go of his pride, because that's a pride thing also, to be that world famous on that stage, particularly in the entertainment world, and then to be able to humble yourself to go and attend a class with other people, so-called quote-unquote regular people, especially to embark on a path where you're going to have to be a servant. It's a great thing. So congratulations to him.
So you want to do Second Life as a reoccurring? You like this? You like
Because
the fact-
when people
I
leave
love
sports,
this. Are you
they're
not
young.
interested in this? This is
I am.
fantastic.
It's
What
amazing.
about when your second life is you being in prison? If you're making life,
OJ or something? Yeah.
yeah, like what about that? What about Second Life?
We'll pass on that.
Congratulations to Zab Judah. And the fight with him and Floyd was a great fight. I only mention it because they flashed a few photos of it. Somebody asked me what my favorite Floyd fight was. It's probably the fight between him and Zab, because I thought that was the fight where Floyd really had to use his patience and figure out what he was going to do against a man who probably hits a little bit harder than him and was even a little bit faster than him. But Floyd already knew coming into the fight that Zab was what he called a front runner, meaning somebody who gets off to great starts and great leads, but peters out. But once again, congratulations to Zab for his maturity and for his understanding of what he needs to do to diversify his revenue streams, particularly in a field like that where he has to be a servant. So congratulations. Anyway, peace.